welcome back to my channel, KP Sparks. We're kind of up close and personal today. As you can see, I'm using my Canvas to record because we are recording a makeup tutorial, aka an eyebrow tutorial. So I've done my foundation already. I did my under eye concealer. I'm setting it right now. I did my bronzer. Okay, so in this video I plan to show you how to get natural looking brows. If you have thin eyebrows like me, as you can see, I don't really have a lot going on, but we're gonna make it work. So if you're in the same boat as me, we're gonna make it work, girl. We're gonna make that brow look sharp, and yeah, it's gonna be lit. So prior to doing your brows, I definitely suggest either going to the nail salon and getting them cleaned up, meaning not too much of a tweeze, just giving them a shape. If I didn't have that cleanup already done, it would kind of be hard for me to follow, the shape or the arch that I desire to have, because the shape isn't there for me to follow. So yeah, I would definitely suggest cleaning up your brows. The first thing I do when I'm cleaning up my brows, and sorry if I'm looking up and down, I have my monitor here, so I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can see everything. But the first thing I do, I brush my brows upward. So I'm brushing it upward so that they can look really fleeky when I am done filling them in. So I brush it upward initially, and then I kind of make sure it's like flat there. Basically the whole purpose of that is for me not to have any hairs, pointing downward. It will just make the process of filling them in harder. This brow is my better brow, as you can see. Like if you have a better brow compared to your other brow that be sleeping, that be slumming like this one. I have my Sephora mirror right here, and usually when I'm doing eye makeup or anything on my eye, I have my mirror like pointed this way. So I have my mirror kind of pointed this way downward, so like when I'm looking down I can really see what's going on. But for right now I just have it straight in front of me. Once again I have my mirror diagonal, and I'm taking this pencil. I've had it for a very long time. I'm pretty sure it's a L'Oreal pencil in the color like brown black, but I usually use brown black on my eyebrows. Seeing as though I have red hair, I could, if I wanted to, use like a cut pencil that is closer to my hair color, but it's based off of preference. I keep my brows the same color regardless. So I'm using a black brown pencil. You don't have to have this exact pencil, but I use a pencil to outline it. So I'm lightly starting at the beginning of my brow, and I'm kind of going at an angle. I hope you guys can see. It's really light. I'm kind of going at an angle. As you can see, it's really subtle because you don't want the front of your brow. You don't want the front of your brow to look really dramatic, or one thing people do, they press down really hard. You don't have to press down really hard for this. So I'm just doing that all the way through. Following the shape that is already there. And I kind of create a curve. Like it's not a sharp. I want to write. Let me draw out brows that I avoid. It's not a sharp, like we not about to have a hill. It's not a hill. It's a smooth curve upward. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want it to be dramatic. I'm slowly, like the way mine is literally, it's literally a curve. Disregard this black dot, but it's literally a curve. Because let's think about how your brows are naturally. I'm going for a natural brow, and that's usually what I go for, is a natural brow. Think about how the curve of it would be, naturally. And then on top, I follow the same light strokes that I was doing before. The reason I start filling in here is because I don't really need that much of a fill-in in the beginning, because I'm gonna go in with a pomade to make feather-like strokes. So I start outlining it here in the middle of my brow. As your arch is high, well, higher than the rest of your brow, so that same area of your brow will be at a higher point. So I'll show you as I'm filling it in. So now I'm going back in with my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. And I'm just creating hair-like strokes. And I'm kind of flicking it up as I'm filling it in. Look at it, there is, look at it. I couldn't help it. With my, I'm kind of going back and forth with my brow pencil. And now I'm just using the spoolie to kind of like blend everything together. The darker areas with lighter areas in my brow. Yeah, so you see how it looks like filled in, no concealer whatsoever, compared to nothing, nada. We ain't got nothing going on over here. Now we're gonna go into like how I conceal my brows, how I, you know, get them looking sharp. 3 concealers I kind of rotate using when cleaning up my brows are the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer in the color, what color is this? Hazelnut. This is Hazelnut. This is the concealer I use for my under eye concealer. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in the color D3. And of course the LA Girl Concealer in the color Fawn. I've been shying away from this concealer because I noticed that it does oxidize. Try it out, y'all. Like, put it on your hand and just see how the color looks like after like 5 minutes. It oxidizes, it changes its color. So when cleaning up your brows, and I kind of should have mentioned this before, but it's cool. You want your arch to be at a diagonal of where your pupil stops. So as you can see, if I do this and I look straight at you, my arch for my brow is where my pupil stops if I'm looking straight forward. Also, you don't want the beginning of your brows to go farther than your nose bridge. So if you make it farther than your nose bridge, you're just going for that unibrow look. So if you want one whole brow, my dear, do what you want to do. Lastly, you want to make sure the tail of your brows are not that long. Usually I end it right here. You don't want to draw your brow and like have it all the way down here, because that's just unrealistic. Who has brows like that? Your hair doesn't even grow like that, shawty. So why would your brows be going like that? Kat Von D3 concealer. And I also used a concealer brush. This is a concealer brush, a Kiss concealer brush. I just bought it from my beauty supply store. You can also use the angled brush or a flat brush to do your brows, but I've been using this for a while. And I go in with my Kat Von D concealer and I kind of just go around the perimeter because I do not need that much, because after all, we're just cleaning up brows, right? Right. I'm literally going directly underneath what I created, the shape I created. I'm going to press down a little bit harder when I reach the area that I want to be highlighted more, which is under my arch right here. But in the beginning, I'm going in with light strokes, and in the end, I'm also going in with lighter strokes. The most pressure that I'm applying when I'm applying this concealer is at my arch area. And I do not clean up in the very beginning because I want it to be feathered. I'm not going to do strike 1, strike 2, clean up on aisle 2. Like, no, I'm not doing that. And you can literally use your hands to clean up the concealer. If you want to have a really subtle look on top, meaning that you don't want your brows to have any highlight right here. You can use either your foundation to clean up on top, or you can use the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer or a color similar to it to clean up on top, so it can just look like your foundation color. And I'm just going to go around with my foundation brush and make sure I don't have no halo eye, because if y'all know my journey, I used to struggle with the halo eyebrows, and I don't want no halos on my face other than my eyeshadows. Okay. If I told you how hungry I was right now, would you bring me food? So hungry, y'all. But that is my one brow done. I'm going to do my other brow and finish my face, and I'll be right back at you. What are you doing? Okay, I'll be right back.